Hi guys. So now we have Aishwarya Vardhan with us. He was also a JEE aspirant and he cleared JEE twice, once during his 12th and after he took a drop. Both time he got rank under 1500 in JEE Advance. He cleared NDA twice and he also cleared ISI exam, ISI Kolkata exam. So Aishwarya, why did you choose IPM over all these things?
Kushal, first of all, thanks for the flattering introduction. You were way too generous. And regarding my decision to choose IPM, I feel that IPM gives a person more flexibility in terms of future career choices. The curriculum is diverse. They basically make you a jack of all trades, and the all-round development of personality that IPM offers, most other programs don't offer that.
Correct. So you were preparing for JEE and you were preparing for NDA. So how did you and when did you get to know about this course?
December 2020.
December 2020. So you were during the it was during your 12th, and did you give it for the first time or did you give this exam only in your drop year?
No, I gave it during 12th too. But back then I didn't know what IPM was, so I didn't join.
Okay. So you took a drop. What was there in your mind while you were taking the drop? What did you do throughout that year? Can you give an insight on that?
Okay, so I took a drop only because I could not clear NDA in my first attempt. I got conferenced out during the interview, SSB interview. So I took a drop for NDA, and my entire drop year went into preparation for NDA. But as you know, NDA, there is a certain luck factor in the SSB interview, so you can't completely rely on NDA. How much ever you prepare, there is always a chance that you'll get rejected. So I needed to have a backup option, so I prepared for all the exams that I prepared in 12th again. And so I prepared for JEE along with NDA, then did some preparation for NDA written exam. Majorly my preparation was for SSB interview.
Okay. So these exams generally don't cover the type of verbal that is being asked in IPM exam. So did you do anything specific for this for the preparation of verbal ability?
I didn't really need any extra preparation for verbal because ever since childhood I had a reading habit. I used to read every single day. I used to read the newspapers and all. So verbal part was, I had already prepared for that, and that way.
Okay. Again, the quants part, I know you have given so many exams, you've cleared all the exams. So your quants must be sorted and it would be easier for you to solve the questions in this exam. But still, the type of questions asked here are slightly different from those that are being asked in JEE and NDA. So how did you practice any of those before giving the exam, or how did you go about what was your technique during the question while solving the questions in the exam?
I didn't specifically prepare for the IPMAT quants part, but what I did was I went through the past year question papers, 2-3 of those. So I got a basic idea of what the paper pattern is, and based on that I figured it out ki it doesn't require any special effort if you've done 11th and 12th well.
Correct. How are you feeling here after almost 1 year has been passed?
It feels awesome, to be honest. The batchmates are awesome. People are coming from different parts of the country, right? And everyone has a different academic background. So it's not like an engineering college where all the students are from science field. There are humanities students, commerce students. So in that way, the diversity is awesome. The curriculum is pretty interesting. Instructors are good.
Anything you have decided about your future? What are your future aspirations? What do you like to do?
I'm keeping my options open. Let's see as we progress through the course.
You will do great in your life ahead.
Thank you.
Right. Thanks for your beautiful insights.
You're welcome.
Hi guys, my name is Mitransh Bharadwaj and I am a student of this year's IPM program at IPM Indore. And in today's video, we'll be talking with some of my JEE friends who are also part of this program. So today we have with us Raghav Tripathi. Hi Raghav, how are you?
Hi, Mitrans.
So let's talk about your JEE journey. So how did you get to know about IPMAT?
Okay, so IPMAT, I was surfing for the internet for good options which I can find as an alternative to JEE. It was my drop year, so I thought like if JEE doesn't happen, so what I'll do, I'll go for some other course or some other college will be pretty good for me.
So what was your exact preferring when it comes to colleges?
Okay, so the first all what all JEE students have in mind, IITs. Then I had BITS Pilani and NITs. After that, like if I have gotten some lower branches NITs or IIM Indore, so then I would have preferred IIM Indore. That was my thinking at that time, and yeah.
So as you said, it was your drop year. So what exactly did you went through? What was going in your mind?
Okay, so when I gave my JEE in 2020, it was like extended twice or thrice in the same year for both mains and advanced. When it all ended, it was the counseling, the last rounds of counseling, they were happening in November, December, November, I guess. So like we had a very short window to prepare for the next exam because generally JEE happens in January and April. So I guess like if there was like 2 or 3 months of time, then I had a chance to prepare again. So I thought, okay, let me give it another shot. If I can get a hold of the JEE exam, if I can crack it. So then I thought with that thing in my mind, okay, I'll go for it. After going through after 2 months in the preparation again, it was not the cup of my tea. So I thought of searching for good other colleges which are good options. That was my thinking at that time, yeah.
So how exactly did you prepare for the verbal section, which is not necessarily a part of the JEE syllabus? So did you have any strategies? Were there any difficulties you faced?
Okay, so verbal section was, I would say, it was tougher for me than the quants. Quants was easy. In the verbal sections, like I had previously prepared for NTSC in my 10th grade. It was in 2018. So there's also in section of English at that time, which like helped me through here also. And for IPMAT, I read something on the internet, like watched some videos which how to go about the verbal section.
JEE aspirants are usually good in higher maths, for example, your questions on differentiation, integration, and other such subjects. But questions on profit loss, pipes and cisterns, and such topics are not usually taught in JEE syllabus. So, what was the strategy for this?
Okay, so like there were some pretty easy questions in the IPMAT maths section. And some were like hard. They were not hard if you know the tricks, but I was not having them. I had like prepared for the same thing again in NTSC. There were some similar sort of questions for profit loss, compound interests, pipes and cisterns, mixture and allegations. I was having like I did have some problems with them, but what I used to do, if I don't get the answer of them in one go, then I would have just gone to the first principle and solved them like in the step by step. Otherwise, the easier option for me was just to put the questions, just to put the options there and verify the question.
Okay. So again, JEE is a very rigorous, very hardcore preparation. So a lot of students tend to cut themselves off from the world, and IPMAT interview is a very huge component. And in the interview, they usually ask a lot of GK questions, or questions about the world and what is currently going on. So, did you face any difficulties?
So yeah, it's like a little tough to know GK and having a connection with the world while preparing for JEE itself. Like for the 2.5 years, I was pretty much cut off from the world, but I had this habit of reading newspapers from a very early age. So like I was not that much disconnected from it. I also have this habit of it's my hobby per se. It's quizzing. So I had connection with the world. And I was good in GK, so that was not a huge problem for me. Also, I like before the interview itself, I did like surf the internet for all the current affairs that you can find on. That's it.
Okay, so any tip for future aspirants?
Okay, like you can do what you can read newspapers that will come in handy. You can do English newspapers they will help you in both the GK section and the verbal section. You can prepare from like some good maths books, quants books. They'll help you in solving the questions pretty easily because if you know the tricks, yeah, you can solve them very easily. For the interview, you just have to have confidence and you have to know like basic things about yourself only. Yeah, it's like what all questions I had in my interview, they were like myself, what I have done in the past, what all like where I live, what all things surrounding it, and the GK was that sort of current affairs. Like at that time Olympics were happening, so some questions from there.
Yeah.
So you have to know, have a grip on the static GK and the current affairs for the interview.
Okay. So it was great talking to you, Raghav.
Yeah, same Mitransh, likewise.
Hi guys, so I am Kushal and I am also a current student at IPM Indore. So we have Akash with us. He was a JEE aspirant as well and he is currently doing IPM with us. So hi Akash.
Hi Kushal, lovely to see you.
So when did you get to know about IPMAT?
So I got to know about IPMAT in my drop year actually, and I got to know from a acquaintance who was in the 2011 batch of IPM. So that was the first batch of IPM, right? And he was a gold medalist and he was praising IPM a lot. So I went through the curriculum and I really liked it. So that's how I got to know about it.
So what were your preferences regarding the colleges you would like to have?
The preference was general, like it was very basic. It was that I need to get to a good college because the environment of a good college is very valuable. You get to know people who are very focused, who are not like they know what to do in their career and they're very aware of that. So I just wanted to have a good environment, and because of that I wanted a good college. So tier 1, tier 1.5 colleges was my preference.
So as you said that you had taken a drop, what was running in your mind during your drop year regarding the JEE preparation, regarding IPMAT preparation?
It was just to improve upon what I had done in 2020. So the result in 2020 was quite satisfactory, but I wanted to do better. So if it was IPMAT and if it was JEE, I needed to get more marks just to get a step above in my college pool.
Right. So how did you prepare for verbal? I mean, generally you guys, JEE guys don't prepare for verbal ability.
That's right.
They're quite involved in quants. So did you face any difficulty? And if yes, how did you overcome that?
Actually, I was quite privileged in this sense because I was studying in a school in which a lot of people were going abroad for studies, higher studies. So the English teacher that we had in +2, she was very helpful. She gave us assignments because people who go outside, they appear for SAT and other such examinations. So English is a very core part of that exam. So our English teacher gave us assignments and workbooks for English. I think that was very helpful for me.
Again, you guys, I know, are very involved in quants and mathematical topics, but still the IPMAT is designed such that it tests you on your aptitude. I know it is built while you're preparing for JEE, for different mathematics, physics and all. Still, there are topics like pipes, cisterns, ratios, mixtures, alligations. You need to have some basics about the idea about the questions asked before you prepare, before you sit for the exam. So how did you practice those questions, or how did you solve them during the exams? Can you give some insights into that?
Yeah, the topics that come in IPMAT are slightly different from what comes in JEE. JEE actually helps you give it gives you a strong mathematical aptitude, but it does not have those topics that come in IPMAT, like time and work, pipe and cisterns, as you mentioned. So I found a list of all those topics from the internet.
So you practice from those areas, and how did you get to know about the techniques, or you use some elementary techniques only?
The techniques, there are a lot of YouTube channels, like the one we are featuring on is one of them, right? And they give us short tricks to solve questions in shorter time.
Yeah.
So those techniques were very helpful. YouTube is your best friend. That is all.
That I'll agree on. Okay, so moving on. Again, you guys during your preparation are very much involved in your preparation. Sometimes you get even cut off from the outside world, what's happening around. But when you sit for an interview, when you sit for IPMAT IPM interview, they ask you quite a lot of questions on general awareness, static. So how did you prepare for them? What was your strategy for that? How did you overcome, if any, obstacle that you are facing for that interview preparation?
Yeah, so until my +2, my general knowledge and the awareness about the current happenings in the world was below satisfactory, right? And in the drop year, I ensured that I'll work on holistic development, not only just focus on JE and IPMAT, but also on my general knowledge. So I started reading newspapers, and towards the end, like the 1 month before the interview, I got to know that people read the Hindu newspaper. So the editorial section of it is actually quite good, because in the interview, you are particularly asked about your opinion on the current happenings. So to form my own opinion, I read the Hindu and the general journal that comes at home, the TOI. That was sufficient. Although my parents were also quite helpful for this. My dad and I watch news together every day, so that was quite helpful.